Oh, oh, 59 yet. You're on a different tower.
Okay, it's 6 o'clock. I called the October 8th meeting at 6 PM to order. Approval of the minutes from 9:23 to 25.
Speak up for that. I gotta write these minutes, okay?
Anybody got any questions on the minutes?
I don't.
So the only thing, I sent it back to Tim after he sent back the 2 corrections. One was my name and one was YouTube, and that's it. So he's got those corrections made in there.
Okay.
You must have an old set here then. It says YouTube on here. I told my wife to correct it. It said YouTube.
Did I print the wrong one?
Well, I don't think so. It says Andrew instead of Andy,
I thought this was the correct one. Yeah, this is the
but
correct one.
I didn't look over it.
Oh, yeah, because you had it. I don't remember where it was. It was that 3rd paragraph from the last there where she had it as U space tube instead of YOU tube.
Well,
Okay.
Yeah, that's.
is that right or wrong?
No, that's correct. That's the correct way of
Okay.
writing it. No, she got it.
I thought you wanted a U.
No, the way she had it originally was U.
Oh, okay.
No, it's correct. It didn't.
Okay,
Okay.
I make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second it.
Call
All
the
in
vote.
favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Well, he don't sign.
Huh?
He don't sign.
Well, he wasn't here, but he
Yeah.
could still look them over. and look
Yeah,
for the
he's
thing.
He's got a copy.
Okay, introduction of the new board member.
So we got JJ Wicker was selected at the caucus. So he's our new board member. He'll finish out my term since I'm finishing out Larry's term. And
Welcome aboard.
Yeah, yeah, welcome.
he's got a little bit of recognizable last name of Wicker, so.
Yep.
Okay.
He said he lives in the town. of
Yeah, he lives in town over by Archibald Wilson Park, so.
He needs to know which is left hand. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, now we have to open up the meeting for, right? or-
No, we're just gonna discuss
We're
this.
just gonna discuss the
This one,
resolution.
yeah,
for
this one we don't
the
have to have a public meeting for.
The tax, 2020 tax levy and tax.
So what we have is, I'll show it for the sheet I gave you last time. There are 4 different options on the, for tax levy growth. We could stay at this option 1, which is stay at the same what we were. Option 2 was the fire growth only. And then option 3 was doing the growth factor, which is the sheet you have in front of you. And option 4 is doing the fire and growth together. And since we already got option 2 in place, this option here is to do option 3 to make it up. We'll be at option 4. So we're looking due to the assessed value, the net assessed value going up. We have the ability to appeal to the DLGF to increase our levy slightly. This does not mean the DLGF has to approve this. This is just us appealing to the DLGF to see if we can increase it. This is not going to affect our budget any. Our budget's covered by our current levy. This is just gives us that ability to increase our levy if we needed to. But again, the DLGF does not have to approve this appeal. We're just trying to appeal to them to see if we can get that growth factor in there.
So it's basically, we're just appealing to them and then we'll have to vote on the.
We have to vote before we raised it.
Yeah, we have to
Use
vote, this is
this.
what we're doing right now, we're
No.
voting for it, and then they get it, and they determine whether or not,
We're voting to raise it or voting to give us the option to raise
you're
it.
right, the option to raise it. All we're doing is appealing to DLGF, DLGF makes that final determination.
Yeah, but if they say yeah,
Then
then do we get another vote before we enforce it?
I will have to ask Abby on that one, but I don't think we do.
So if you vote to appeal it and the DLGF approves it, it automatically takes effect?
Correct, I believe so. Now, they could
At
deny it,
what rate then?
basically, you're just raising it up this much right here, we won't know. official
On top of
rates.
what we already have, would be
Correct.
6,500
Right.
on.
Like I said, I should have printed the form I gave you guys last week, or emailed to you. Let's see if I have it on this computer.
How much of an increase is it?
It's not much.
15,000 on the fire and 6,500.
Percentage wise, it's not a major increase.
So that in effect will raise our taxes if we agree to do
No.
that?
Our taxes are actually gonna go down next year. And that'll be a discussion that budget, when we do the budget, our taxes are gonna go down next year. So even doing this increase here, our taxes are gonna go down. And that's one of the things I said to you guys earlier in the week about farmland taxes will go down next year.
Well,
Will you put that in writing? I hardly believe that I've ever seen the tax go down.
no, he's talking tax and what he really
Ta-
means
tax
is the
rate.
levy.
The
The
levy,
the levy he's talking. So it can still go up. If the assessed value goes up, even though the levy went down, it can
Right.
still go up.
But you're asking for an increase in the levy.
we're
On
appealing,
this.
we're appealing to the DLGF to see if we can. Does it mean they will agree to it?
So if we get a raised levy, then that should help our taxes go down?
No, that's all the levy
That'll
does.
increase them.
So, depends on their tax rate, whether or not we get that going too.
Taxes are gonna go down next year, but if you approve the levy increase, then they won't go
So
down as much.
What we're trying to do for this year is we know next year, everybody's taking a major hit. Because next year's when it officially starts with the House and Old Act #1, where everybody's gonna take a major hit. It's gonna go down. We'll have to appeal to the county council for lit next year. There's no certified shares for lit next year. So this is gonna help us out, not for this year, it's gonna help us out for next year. Because next year, everything's gonna get changed.
So how much money we gonna lose with the certified lit then?
We don't know. So right now, it'd be in our budget, what our certified lit is. Right now, I think it's close to 90,000 we're getting from the county. We won't get that 90,000. I'll have to go to the county council and ask for that lit. There's no certified shares next year. So the county council could say, nope, you're gonna get 50,000 in lit. And then that really hurts us, because then we don't have the lit shares to offset the property taxes, which property taxes starting next year will be going. I'm not sure how they're going down, but and that's what they're trying to offset with, they're gonna take more lit is the end game, is take more lit to offset the property taxes, but looking at
The
numbers.
county is taking more lit to offset the property.
But they're the ones who determine, only one they
They're
don't,
the ones that determine who gets what.
except for the town, the city of Bluffton. City of Bluffton's over 3,500 people, so they can determine their own lit rate. But the county determines our lit rate. So this is more, in fact, not helping us this year, it's more for 2027 and 2028, not for 2026.
I guess we'll be able to vote on the budget next year, won't we?
Correct.
So we could, even though this is just a max,
Correct. That's just.
so we can vote it lower next year if we have to.
Correct,
This just gives us the option to,
correct.
to raise it.
It's not put it in effect. It just gives us that ability to, hey, we know we got that much for levy. It won't be, do we need that much? Maybe we'll get more lit next year. I don't know. I doubt it. But it gives us that option to kind of help us out.
And we're just talking for Jefferson Township,
Correct.
nothing.
Nobody else. This is all
But
we.
see, we don't have control of the lit. The county's got control of it.
Correct.
So,
How'd they vote last night?
They kept it as what it was prior, so they didn't change anything. But that doesn't mean they're gonna change stuff next year.
No, I know, I wasn't able to make it last night, so I was curious how they voted.
Yeah, they voted, basically all they did was approve what they determined the last time, which they didn't raise it at the last meeting or lower it at the last meeting, so they kept it flat for this year. Again, that certified shares go away for next year.
well, I guess, I mean, we have another say next year when
Right.
the budget comes out.
Correct.
So I say, I guess I'll vote for it in case we need it and hope we don't.
Right.
Or you can call a vote or, what's your thoughts? Or JJ, what do you
Yeah.
think?
So this is just a safeguard in case they do get rid of it.
Correct. Yeah, it's just a safeguard for us. It's not increase, it just allows us, like, again, like you said, it allows us the maximum to go up. Doesn't mean we're gonna use it.
So once you go into it, you're not forced to stick.
Right.
Correct, yeah.
You
We-
can stay where you are.
Yeah, say our rate was gonna be 0.10. With this, it could be maybe 0.12,
Right.
but it'll depend on what we set our budget at. If we don't need 0.12, we can make it 0.8
Right.
or 0.08, you know? It just allows us that room, but we don't have to take it.
Right. And
That's the way I understand it.
And we may get more lit money next year and we may be able to lower or we won't have to use so much levy on that. Like I said, there's just too many unknowns for next year.
Well, as long as that's the case, that it's not gonna automatically go up. If they
Yeah.
approve it, then we got that option next year, then as long as I'm all right.
Is that filled out by a form or do you have to write a letter?
It's the form here we're
It's just
signing.
official.
We're gonna have to sign that
Okay.
form.
Okay, so you know exactly
Yeah.
what you're signing.
Yeah.
You good? You good with it? You good
Yeah,
with
no,
it?
it's not
Call
gonna
for the
raise
votes
taxes,
in,
it's
so I got to
just-
put it in the minutes.
What's that?
Call for the vote, so I
Yeah,
can put it in the
yeah.
minutes.
All in favor of the petition to appeal an increase above the maximum levy?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Okay, now is it, no, we get to discuss.
Yeah, we get to discuss it.
2026
There you
budget.
go.
There's a lot of paperwork in this section here. Some of it's from last year, so you have last year's. The first one was the notice of taxpayers, which everyone's seen that one. Second section of papers is a budget estimate for this year. And then I included the miscellaneous revenue, so you guys can see where the look's at and where it's going. And the third one is the budget estimate financial statement. That's actually gonna be how we determine what our budget is and how the property tax rate is.
So which one you gonna explain first?
We can go over the financial statement, proposed tax rate, because that'll guys give you an understanding where we're at. So if you look at the first column, first section, two sections is the rainy day fund. So again, we had a budget for that $20,000 for the CIP. But if you look down on line 18, you see how 17 says our total expenses, estimated expenses is going to be $20,305, and our operating balance is going to be zero. So then right below it is a property tax rate of 0% or 0 cents or whatever. Next page is our general fund. Once again, we had a budget for the CIP. So that's why this one's looking like it is really high. So our total expenses for the end of the year is going to be $265,469 with the operating balance at the end of the year of $0. So our net assessed value property tax rate, looking like our property tax rate is going to be 0.0037 for the general fund. Next page is the township assistance. That one there, since that's a restricted fund, that one's actually not going to be a zero operating balance. That one's going to go up. Looks like slightly to 57,656 after the end of the year. Tax rate for that is 0.0080. And page number 5, right? Or page 4, sorry. That is a township fire and EMS. We are budgeting for $129,121 with an operating balance at the end of the year of $132,000. Because we have some sitting in the bank account right now, that's why it's going up slightly. Because we have total of cash on hand at the end of this year is going to be $114,000. So with our current with the tax levy that we have, we're going to end up with $132,000 with a fire budget of $129,000. So that makes the tax rate with our net assessed value of 0.0612. Last one is the fire. Make sure I'm looking at. Nope, I got one more after fire debt. Fire debt. The way we're looking at the end of the year, we're going to end up with, after paying the fire truck off, we're going to somehow have 12 grand left over at the end of this year. So we're not going to increase anything. So in the next year, we'll have 12 grand at the end of things. So our tax rate for that fire debt is going to be 0. And then the last one is fire cum. We're looking at sitting at the end of this year with 121,000. It's probably going to go up from there because we're investing that money. Again, we're not budgeting anything, so we didn't get the tax rate increased on that. So we're not having a fire cum fund again this year. So that one's staying at 0.0.
So what's the total tax rate?
So our tax rate for next year, as proposed, is going to be 0.0729. What was our rate last year?
0754.
754.
Yeah.
So we're going to go down point what? 0.003. So we're going to go down. So I thought I had it way.
Don't spend it yet.
I know. We don't know how anything's going to happen. So like I said, it's going down. The biggest, I think, one, yeah, the assessed value went up on homes. The value, like I said, on the farmland's going down per acre.
How much to go down per acre?
$180. But otherwise, it was supposed to go up until Summit and Rural One. It was supposed to go up like 100 and I don't have the numbers in front of me. It was supposed to go up $160, but it went down $160 instead.
Okay, that's the financial statement.
Alright, so, in my budget estimate, let's look at that. So again, we had the budget for the rainy day fund money. So that's where that's at. One, two. Shoot for last year. Revenue. So for the general fund for this year, budgeting a total of $265,469. Last year we only budgeted for 78,000. So the reason it increased so much is,
You got a copy of last year's budget for us?
yeah, it's in there. So David's got it in his hand. It's gonna look like this.
26.
Here's the,
25.
It should look
It's
like,
printed the other way. It's printed
yeah, it's
sideways.
printed sideways.
Yeah, that's the expense thing. Money you spent, it looks like this, Form 1, but it says 2025 here at the top. But
No, that's this one.
and then there should be a one like this for the 26
Yes, that one.
budget form.
All right.
Hang on.
Yeah, right here.
I know there's just a lot of paperwork we're going through.
It's all this.
All right, so last year we ended up with a budget of 78,740. This year budgeting for 265,469. The biggest thing out of that is 186,000 sitting in our bank account that we got to account for. So you subtract that from 265, you end up with a budget of 79,252.
Normally, we go through these line by line.
Right. So I'm just giving you a kind of heads up, but you can go through it line by line.
Yeah.
So you can see where the increases actually happened. But I'm just telling you, the 186,000, you take that from your total. So we're up slightly, not even $500.
So where'd we go up? You went up 1,000 on your salary.
No, that actually went down 1,000.
Okay.
My salary went down because Larry had it.
at 13. and
Yeah,
he said
13, I'm going
12.
down to 12.
Okay.
Okay.
We thank you.
Salary of the clerk went up to 5,600. She was 5,400.
Okay.
Township board, I increased for you guys to repay. Each of you will get $1,000 next year is what I'm budgeting. So,
We had
2,400. So you guys went up
eight.
$600. So you
We
went
went up $200.
You guys only went up $200. So total you went up.
I spent that much money in paper and ink this year.
Right. And a lot of that, the difference for that came out of the trustee salary. So when you guys increase this, I took it basically $1,000 I took away from me. I divided it up between the clerk and township board and investigator.
Okay.
Going down the line, doing my math, Social Security township shares going down because he had that budget way too high. Office supplies, I took that down 500. Bookkeeping software, that is going up for next year. So that's where that one increased $300. Computer services, that went up 300. And if you've been looking at the statement, I'm not sure if you guys saw that one.
I couldn't print it, or
Yeah.
it wouldn't come up. It wouldn't come up on my phone.
It's on, you have it in your stack of paperwork.
Okay.
But we're over budget for this year. We've had some issues with, they did some work here in the building. And so we had to get the IT guys in here to get her internet back up and running in the office. Because Susan couldn't print anything, do any paperwork, so we've had a little bit of IT issues this year, so that's up this year.
While we're on the printing thing,
Mhm.
is your printer the one that's messing up or mine? Because some things you send me, I can read it fine on my computer, and I go to print it and it's just blurry. It's like it's,
It's gotta be, cause everything I send you, I can print from my stuff and it's fine. Cause I printed out.
but how come
home.
some of my stuff, it prints fine and then
I don't know.
that,
I don't know, like I said, I print at home, I print here.
I'll
Do
show,
you
I'll,
use that same program every time to send them stuff?
Yes, I use the
Same
same,
program, Word or Excel?
I use actually PDF. I create PDFs. I don't use
Okay,
Word or
that's
Excel.
why it's different then. That's why you're not,
It depends on your settings on your computer, because I use PDFs for everything.
he's using PDF
PDF and you're
and you're probably using Word and Excel.
I'm using Word.
That's
Yeah.
why.
So everything I send is PDF. So if you don't have a PDF reader, you just need to download a PDF reader.
reader.
That'll be a good job for somebody else.
So computer services is going up slightly. Legal services are going up again. Hopefully we won't need that much legal services next year. I don't plan on needing it, but it's, again, it's there. The biggest one increase you're gonna see is the accounting services. That went up $6,000.
What's the deal there?
Anytime we get with Abby, it's $241 an hour. So,
No, she told us that it was so much of our budget.
and it may be that, I can't remember, but
Well, no, she told us it was so much of our budget. And when the bill come, it was supposed to be 1% of the budget.
okay.
And our budget was 284 last year.
It was 3,000, it's showing 3,000 for the budget for last year for accounting services.
No,
Oh,
the total budget, she was supposed to bill us,
For 1% of the.
yeah,
Oh, so 260.
so 260. And she billed us like $30-some hundred.
Well, that depends on how much work she spent. So her hours is 241. So actually 1% is 269. And so,
I understood it that she was taking care of all this stuff for that amount of money,
for 1%.
for the 1%.
1%, the way
See,
it
that's-
was explained to us.
Yeah, that's
So
what,
then what's
because
the
I
1%?
questioned her that night we hired her.
Okay. Yeah, so I don't know.
I know Larry paid her the 33, but then we're getting more bills.
I've only got one bill since Larry left office, and that was for helping me with the budget. So it was only 300 some bucks.
Are we talking about this lady
Yeah.
that's supposed to save us money?
Yeah, that's
Well, she's
what,
trying to,
she's supposed to guard it for us.
correct, she's guarding it for us.
Yes.
So again, our budget went up 6,000 for that, just to cover it. Again, I'm hoping not to be using her much anymore. Because again, only reason I used her for now is to help me get the budget figured out.
Right.
I was so lost.
But did Larry sign a contract with her of any
I'll have to
kind?
look at it, see what they did. I don't have any of that information.
Wendy
from
had
me.
to prove that.
Oh, not all contracts we have to approve. Some we do, some we don't.
Phone didn't go up any. The crash plan for the backing up of the computer stayed the same. Microsoft did go up. I had an increase on that. And then there's some other stuff I'm working on with that. So that went up 300. ITA training, I dropped that down to by 200, so it's going to be 500, so 700. Travel, dropped that by 100. Lodging, dropped that by 300. There's probably one or two in here that I completely dropped out. Legal advertising, that went up 500.
How, did we use it this year?
Yeah,
We used that much this year? or-
I can't remember how much I've used so far. I'll have to look at the other sheet I have in here that tells us how much we've spent this year. Insurance, both of them stayed the same at 35 and 95. Insurance bonds went up to 500 because I think they went over that one this year with just between Larry and Susan. I haven't got mine yet done. I need to get with Tom and Shander on that to get that. Office rent staying the same next year. Ditch assessment is going down to 70. We had that over budgeted.
What, we're missing a line here, repair and maintenance.
I took that one completely away. I
Okay,
didn't need repair and maintenance. There's no reason we needed that. So
okay.
I took that away. We're not budgeting for that. So right there's $500 going away.
Whose banner went up a little,
Yep, news banner went up.
200 to 302.
Office equipment, took that down like 250.
Yep.
ITA dues, took that one up, 'cause I think they're increasing. Again, I may not use them, but it's there for if I want to, because I'll need to have some training done. Cara Cemetery stayed at 10. Cemetery maintenance is going down by $6,000 because there's no more big projects anymore. So that's where I think the big chunk of money was coming, was the cemetery maintenance. And then, of course, we had to do the buildings, the capital outlays, and that's just our money sitting in the bank.
Yeah.
We just have to show that it's in the budget. So like I said, you take the buildings out of there, the capital outlays, we're sitting at, for the total for general fund, 79,252, which last year we approved 78,740. And that's an increase of $512. And if we take anything, you gotta remember, if we take anything out, then the, whatever we take out of that budget, 30% goes into the road infrastructure.
Or we gotta put it in somewhere else.
So we can't increase anything. We can decrease it, everything. We can decrease, but we can't increase anything.
Well, we increased our wages and some other things.
In this budget. So
Yeah.
from what I have budgeted, we can't increase anything.
After it's approved.
Yeah, but you can increase lines right now, right?
No. Lines are the set at what they are. We can go lower on the lines. We can't go higher.
They haven't been approved yet, so why aren't you?
Because state says we can't.
Because they're published.
They're published. That's why we can't change.
Wow.
We
And
can't
you
increase them.
published them before you talked about them.
No, the state takes that, and once I have my meeting with the state, that's the way they say, no,
Wow,
You
that's
can't do
really different than what it used to be, isn't it?
laws change, government changes. We're just
So
trying to,
really, the state's telling you what to do.
exactly,
Well,
especially when it comes to townships.
it's the meeting you guys had with George. He has with the state, and that's
No,
where they go
that's where
through.
the
and so-
difference is.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
changed so much since you guys were
Because
not.
George is so good about keeping things down.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you, could you have had a meeting to talk about all this budget stuff before you went to the state? I'm just asking because this is new to me too. Like,
I think we could have, but
I don't-
again, I had to have this done by, technically I was 3 weeks, no, I was 2 weeks behind of getting all of this
right,
done.
October news.
Because I needed it done before September.
But that's what I'm saying.
And I didn't take over till September 1st, so I was 2 weeks behind
I
getting
think-
everything done.
AJ, I don't know, I don't think you're right on that, because as long as we don't go over the advertised total amount, we can change the lines.
Mhm.
Okay.
I think. so,
Yeah.
Yeah.
What lines would you want to change?
I'm just saying,
Right.
that's what I
Yeah,
said,
right.
we could change stuff around if we want to.
Right.
Because you only advertised,
The gross amount,
but people don't know what that was gonna go
yeah,
for.
no,
That's what I was talking about. That's what we used to do. We'd get set down and then do line by line and stay within what the state, that George gave us.
I have a
Yeah.
question if I'm allowed.
Yeah.
What amount is for the investigator? And I knew that.
Well,
was-
that's coming up.
That's coming
Oh,
up.
that's a whole new
different.
ballgame?
Yeah,
Okay, I
that's
heard
different.
that. I heard that. Hey, That's
that's,
not in this budget then.
It's not,
Yeah.
in this- not in this.
Yeah.
It's in this budget, but we're not.
We're not there yet.
Not to that category.
yeah.
We're in general fund right now.
Sorry.
the investigators paid out of township assistance,
Correct.
Oh,
out of that fund,
That's not a completely different fund.
okay.
and that's where we're at.
So is there anything, like I said, we just went up $512 from last year on the general.
After you take off
Take off the
this
100,
186.
217.
Yeah. Okay.
Any questions about general?
Yeah. Yeah, are you planning on using the ITA then or not?
I'm gonna have to do some training, so I think I'm gonna have to keep that subscription going to be able to do training, because ITA does all the township stuff. And if, I may not use it for all ITA, they have like the, Association of County, that, like the county people went to, that township people can go to also to learn, do the training there. So there's other stuff I could use that ITA money for, it's just training in general.
Well, I got a bad taste for the ITA
I get that.
after Larry said, they told me I can do this and I can do that.
Right, yeah. I don't agree with that either, but I have to get some training done, and
Maybe not next year. You'll be smart then.
I'm hoping to have more information. Like I
That's kind
said,
of a joke.
no, it's being thrown into this at budget time's the worst time to be thrown into this.
Oh, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so if we have no questions about general, we can go on to the township assistant.
Okay.
All right, starting off, investigator, went up $200 for that.
Are we what's going on with that?
Probably will have to hire somebody eventually, but we'll talk about that later on.
Okay.
But again, we'll have to determine what's gonna go there.
So what amount is it?
$5,600 for the year.
It was like 11 or 12,000.
5,400.
No, 5,400.
Now, you're thinking of the total maybe for housing and all that. This is just the investigator
This is just
part.
investigators.
This is just her salary.
Okay, because I was thinking that he had that at 11 or 12,000
No.
last year.
No.
Well,
It
it was both of them together. It
Both
was
of them
both
together.
of them together. It was 54 and 54 last year. 54 for the clerk, 54 for the,
So they changed
Investigator.
it now, you have to have an investigator separate.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yep. Investigators money comes out of the,
Township.
Township assistant.
again, I did my calculations on social security township share, that going down, is $150. So 500 down to 350. Emergency shelter, kept that at 500. Housing, I took that down to 85 from 10. Utilities went from 6 to 5. Food supplies left at 100. Household supplies left at 200. Transportation, left that at 1,000. The healthcare, left that at 200. Funerals, burials, and cremations, I left that at 1,000. Insurance left that 200, and then I took completely away the other direct relief. So last year we had a budget of 23,100. I went down to 22,650.
What's the insurance for?
I think that's just in case they need help with their, like an insurance copay or something like that to get help, see a doctor or prescription. Because I think prescription was in here, wasn't it?
That's a separate line.
That may be under healthcare.
Yeah.
But again, I don't think, we'll have to look at the numbers here.
Is
what
it
they can
limited
spend.
to medical insurance?
Yes, because it's township
And
assistance.
township assistants.
So you're not making car insurance
No.
payments?
That is something we'll discuss here in a little bit.
Or house insurance.
Correct.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So we went from 25,800 to 22,650.
So we had a budget of 23,100.
23,100.
What we adopted was 23,100. What he
Oh,
wanted.
yeah.
So we're going down to 22,650.
Okay.
Any other questions?
When you say you have to hire someone, is this gonna be a new ordeal where people will put in their applications, or how do you find?
Well, we'll talk
That-
How
about
I
do you
don't-
find an
We'll
investigator?
talk
I don't know
about
how
that.
I'm gonna handle that yet.
Yeah, we'll talk about it when we get to,
Yeah.
that's another.
That's
deal on the-
that's completely different discussion. It's not part of the
This is
budget.
just money on this
Okay.
one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Any other questions about that?
Oh,
Next up is fire. So the total budget for fire last year was 122,893. We only budgeted for 114,916, so that was our max levy. This year, with our current max levy, without the levy growth that we just apply, or we're gonna try to appeal for, our max levy is 130,000. So we're gonna be under that max levy for fire. And I broke it down by each, so this mirrors Ossian's budget just in half. So everything for the fire is half of what the Ossian budgeted.
So we're gonna pay hydrant rental again then.
Correct. Because the town has to pay, the town pays for hydrant rental.
Is that where they get how they get the water in the tanker from the hydrant?
One of the ways,
Yeah, I know. it's-
Water
I know
has a
the other-
rate though.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm surprised the town charges for it.
Well, they gotta pay for the hydrant somehow, so that's how, one of the ways they pay for it is fire department pays for a portion of that maintenance upkeep.
They don't have to.
That's.
That's a completely different discussion, but, so fire budget is exactly half of what the town of Ossian is budgeting.
Which, what was their budget last year?
So maybe 244. So half of last year's was 122,093. So it went up,
$14,000.
no. Yeah, total, total.
Yeah, their budget went up $14,000.
Some of that was the,
Seeing,
I think FICA, that went up, some other stuff. Fuel went down, so instead of what he budgeted last year for that,
FICA went up or FICA got forgotten?
that I can't tell you. So fuel went down, I know that much. Where's that at? So fuel last year, they budgeted for 16, they're only budgeting for 10 for this year. So they took that down, I
When they go up,
think,
one, when did it go up? Once, did it go up?
I remember that being pretty contentious last year.
well,
well, because they budgeted way too high in that category, so.
and I said that at their budget meeting, if you remember.
It got nailed down, if I remember.
Yeah, I remember.
Oh,
And
yeah.
the street said
But-
lower it.
But again, this is the first year they're trying to budget this way, because we were paying fuel for all the diesels, they were paying for gas. So now this year they got kind of figured out that they're
I
only
get
spending that much.
into it.
Okay.
Anything on the fire budget?
Do you sit down and help them decide the budget, or do they do it and they just say, this is what it's gonna be?
It is the fire chiefs who determines the budget. So it's just like the police department, the police chief determines his budget, street department, the street department head, the heads of each department determines the budget.
No, they don't determine it.
Well, they
They
decide.
ask for that much money.
Well, they do determine it because Ossian never says no. You've
Yeah.
never been to any of the meetings.
That's true.
Here's some more money.
That's not always true, but
No, they don't.
because they had to cut some from the budget for this year, and they'll be cutting more for next year because unless something changes majorly with the state, it'll be a whole different ballgame next year.
So how much did it go up, and you're crediting that going up to what account?
Well,
They're all different accounts, so
it went up $14,000 roughly, the fire budget. But they're assessing us
So
$7,000.
our half is 7.
Seven. 7 went up. Like you said, there's different ones that went up
Oh,
with
yeah, you said hydrant and something.
hydrant. I don't know if that went up or not,
Yeah.
but from what we have here is kind of,
The big one was FICA because FICA got forgotten.
Right.
I said about $6,000 last year.
Oh, so that's true?
But then there's 8,000
Yeah, they-
more
they
somewhere.
forgot it.
There's 8,000
So-
more.
There is, yeah, but
What do you
that's
mean?
So the
6,000
bond-
up
Oh,
to
they
14
forgot to put it in the
Okay.
budget?
They forgot to put it in the
So-
budget.
volunteer fire department compensation's going up about $2,600, a little over $2,600. And I think salaries and wages went up another $1,880. So right there's about 3,000 of that.
About 3,000 of that.
And then FICA, of course, that is 2,700 of that.
I was gonna say,
So right there's those three. I mean, I'm not sure if there was something else that's different. Fuel went down. Office supply stayed the same. Turnout gear went down.
Purchase, equipment purchases doubled.
I think that's where he moved fuel from, took it to, was it equipment purchases?
Doubled. So, yeah, it was 2,500 last year, it was $5,000 this year.
Percent.
Huh?
That's
Well,
equipment, that's not,
equipment.
that's not turnout.
That's-
gear.
that's just, the hooks and ladders and that stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
Hoses.
Somebody's told me the most expensive part was dressing.
It is. That's one up a bunch. That's probably doubled from when you guys was in there. Turnout gear.
So I don't think, they didn't have miscellaneous expenses and prevention and education from last year. So both of those are increased from 0 to 414, 250. Hydrogen went up $31.
See, we only budgeted $114,000 last
Right.
year.
The remainder was taken out of.
Well, yeah, we'll get into that.
Yeah, that's gonna be an end of the year discussion on that.
No, there'll be a discussion at the end tonight on that.
All right. And we got questions on that then?
But you have a big pond, you think it sucks.
Oh, yeah.
All right, and of course, fire equipment debt, we're not gonna have any because the truck's gonna be paid off at the end of the year. And then the last one was fire cube. We did not increase the levy this year, so there's nothing there either. So that's one thing we were supposed to do in the beginning of the year is try to, if we wanted to have a fire cube fund again. So we had to apply for that levy, so.
This budget 437,545, let's take the fluff out of it.
Yep.
So you take out 20,305 for the rainy day, right?
So, yep.
And you take out 186,217. For the general.
So that leaves us a total of 231,023.
231,023. And last year our budget was
269,446.
So it's down 30,000.
And like I
that's
said,
the fire debt.
that's a fire debt, basically.
52,000 was the fire debt.
Yeah.
So it
Some areas-
did go up some, and you figure,
What you pick, right? It did go up slightly because like I said, fire budget's up, I increased your enough funds a little bit. And that's, I think, about it. It's just those two main categories offset that. But we're going down because the fire debt's going away. But the way it's looking right now is we're somehow have excess in the fire debt. I don't know how that happened.
have what?
We'll have excess at the end of
Excess
the,
in it.
at the end of the
Well,
fire debt.
there was some extra in there that we left in there
Okay,
because if there was a hit somewhere, we didn't want to be short to pay our
that would
loan
make-
back.
that would make sense why we'll have some left over then.
Yeah.
Okay, that would
We
make
saved some Cume Fire money. We applied some Cume Fire money to that engine, but we saved a little out and put in that debt category at that time. So
that's-
there was a little bit in there in case there was any hitches. We had a little bit,
Right. And like I said, right now, the money is sitting in, Trust Indiana collecting money for us too, so. So we'll have, there's money, we're earning money right now too.
Can that be switched over once you get a Cume fire?
I don't know how to investigate that.
well,
I would think it could, because that's where it came from.
so, well, that Trust Indiana money is out of several accounts and it's supposed to be kept separate and the interest is supposed to go into them accounts.
Interest, you know where the interest is.
Yeah.
So if Cume Fire earned it, Cume Fire gets it. If General earned it, General gets it.
Okay.
That's why we told Larry, you gotta keep them separate and you gotta get the interest
There is,
that it earns back into the account that earned it.
yeah, there is 4 separate accounts for that reason.
Yeah, which on your printout, I only got two accounts.
Only 2 come through on that?
Yeah,
Oh, look at it. What I submitted to the state should have been more. What page is? I'm not sure if I have it with me. I should, because it's on the, boot statement. All right, any other questions about the budget?
Is the budget on, the, computer for everybody to look at now?
No, I think we had to discuss. it.
after tonight, it will
should
be.
Tonight it should be, right?
Sure.
To approve it?
It's gotta be entered within so many days, doesn't it?
Right.
Yeah.
There it is. There's it. You see what I sent you guys? Oh, I must have double scanned the fire for the township. That's the only two I see that.
Yeah, I had a double
I'll get-
scan of them and nothing on the
I'll
other.
get that corrected for you guys tonight. But like fire equipment debt and township assistance earned us 284 this year so far. I mean, he started that late. So that's only like 3 or 4 months worth.
Yeah.
All right, anything else over the budget?
So technically, it's staying the same or going a little bit lower.
For what?
Well, now, there's two things on the budget. You gotta remember, there's here's what we're gonna spend, and then here's what we're collecting, and the spending's up here to cover that money so the state doesn't take it,
Right.
but the collection is down here.
Right. The collection is down, should be going down this year for the total. So last year's, do I have that one here?
So we need 30,000 less than we needed last year
Correct.
because we took the fire debt.
And hopefully next year we can figure out, we can probably lower it more if we get some other stuff figured out. We'll hopefully have to have training and everything else, but we gotta get that training done.
This is a far cry better than last year. That's all I'm gonna say.
All right,
It's a far cry better.
do I have a motion to,
I make a motion to approve the budget here as presented. We didn't make any changes, right? Yeah. Anybody want to second that, or you want to change something?
I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
we'll get that, ready for our adoption meeting next, the 22nd, at 6 p.m. All right, where are we at now?
Well, we got this notice to taxpayers. We didn't go over that, did we?
Open the budget discussion to the
That's what I
public.
have to submit to this, everybody so they can see that. So the public's kind of,
So did I have to open the budget discussion to the public? Was I supposed to?
we're
Were we
supposed to, but the public decided to talk while we're meeting.
Okay.
So we'll go with that. So the notice of
You
taxpayers.
guys want to discuss anything more on?
Yeah, you want, that means we let you talk while we did it now. That you can talk, but that's okay. Anybody got anything to say about it?
I guess it's hard when you're not seeing anything, but I guess it sounds like why I asked if it was about the same or whatever.
Yeah.
And that budget includes the fire part, right?
Correct. It includes fire.
Okay, fine.
All right.
I have one question. Is that you?
No, shouldn't be.
Anyway, I was asking if, like, on the state, you know, what's happening now, how it all went down, all the other,
No, there's not one over there.
if the state goes down, I mean, the state decides, you guys took that down because of money, and the following year, what happens? Is it gonna go,
We gotta figure, I don't know. That's a question for what they're gonna be discussing next year, because I know the Senate and House are gonna be discussing that stuff next year actively. And I've gotta have discussions with the council next year about lit, because that's, could be going away, that could be changing, I don't know. There's too many unknowns, I don't know anything more than what I know from my short 2 months of
that's what I
learning.
wondered.
It could all,
Had any meetings on it or anything?
not till next year. So they're gonna figure out what I think the Senate and House meets to set up how everything's gonna be for next year. And that's the only thing they're doing the rest of this year, and we won't know
So
until,
that probably be
springtime of
kind of
next year.
scary for
correct, everybody.
everybody.
Right.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Yeah, anybody else got any questions on the budget? Okay, the township guidelines.
Any other changes you guys want to that?
We voted on it, didn't we?
I think
We
we
did, we voted, but he
just want to make sure you were happy with what the changes I did.
I'm good.
I'm good.
We gotta sign one of them, or,
Yeah, we gotta have a motion and,
I made the motion,
okay,
and you seconded it, right?
Yeah, I think so.
And then we voted.
Okay.
It'll be in the minutes, if I get a chance to write them.
3 years and we
I
officially.
guess I
have
wrote the last
guidelines.
well,
one.
Well,
guidelines.
we did sign
About 2 months
Larry's
ago.
about 2 months ago.
2 months ago, we finally got,
Oh, that's
We did.
or 3 months ago, it's been 3 months now. All right, I'll take those back so I can get that filed with my other paperwork I need to.
Okay. All right, the township investigator update.
So I know I guys sent you guys paperwork, we're not gonna discuss that paperwork, that is completely different. She never submitted that paperwork at all, that's just for you guys' reference. But I did let the investigator go end of the month. So we do not have an investigator right now. I've gotta work on that.
This,
But where
this
did
says
this
it was
paper-
to Larry Heckford. though.
Yeah, where did this, when did you get a hold of this?
After I let her go.
Okay, by her or by?
It may have been in her desk. So I was going,
Oh, okay.
so
Okay,
that's how I got my hands on this.
okay.
So that's why she
Okay,
was
that
planning,
explains-
she was
explains-
planning on leaving anyways.
Okay, I see that, yes.
So I think I let her go on the 29th.
Okay.
So she is no longer employed by the township.
Why did you let her go?
A lot of different reasons that I will not go into right now, but I had to let her go that day.
It's up to him. She works for him, so it's his call. It's not ours.
It's completely his.
I had to let her go that day. I'll just put it that way. All right. Last one, credit card policy.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
Let's go back.
What's this here? Ordinance or resolution for adoption and taxes.
Which one is that? Oh, that's from last year.
Last year, you see, it's-
That's last
it's-
year.
okay.
I highlighted that.
Okay.
That was just for more of your information. Okay, that was my resolution. I need to make sure I didn't keep the resolution. Okay. All right, you guys had hopefully time to read the credit card policy. I know it's 4 pages long.
I didn't have time.
Or it's 3 pages long.
Is this a blanket, like a one you found somewhere, or did you write this up, or?
I did not find it somewhere. I kind of had help getting it written up. So it's not, I had to go through, change some stuff to make it work. There may be some errors in there yet, but it is something I had kind of drafted.
So who helped you? Can we ask you that? Was it the lawyer or?
No, it was AI, artificial intelligence. So I'm not gonna sit out and type all that.
So what does the township credit card policy consist of? I mean,
It consists of 10 sections of, one is the purpose, authorization, permitted uses, prohibited uses, spending limits, receipt and documentations, oversight, reconciliation, card security, termination of use, compliance.
Is it a personal credit card?
No. It is a business credit card. Even though with business credit cards, it still hits my credit record.
I don't,
Reward
Credit
points
cards
go back
may-
to the card.
And
or
it stays with the account with that.
credit cards may be issued only with the approval of the township trustee. So we're giving you permission to
Well,
give a credit card to another person that works for.
If I wanted to, I could, but that, again, is the discretion of the trustee. And again, each card I have to issue goes against my credit record, so no.
Well,
Would this be for
But-
like the investigator? to make
this
the
is for
purchase?
you.
No, it won't be for the investigator. This is mainly for,
Well, I'm not with giving you a credit card, but
this is for the
Yeah.
town, this is,
if you want to
this is
give
a
it to somebody
blanket,
else,
this is a blanket coverage for the township, is why this is written up. It specifies how the township will operate with the credit card.
I didn't hear anything in there that says that you have to present a receipt.
It is in the,
It's 6.
yeah, it's 6, receipts and documentation. So I have to have original receipts purchased, must be submitted within 3 business days of each transaction.
Well, there's a difference between issue and used. Issued is,
Right.
I'm giving you a card, used is something else.
Right.
Issued ought to be maybe changed to used, only with the approval of the township trustee.
What scenario would that apply to?
What, somebody having a credit card
Yeah,
Besides you,
besides me, like the clerk, treasurer, or the clerk having it so she can go buy off supplies or stamps or whatever she would need.
but you can still,
Some of that you can write checks for, but
but then also use is one thing. I give people my card and say, go get this, and they use my card.
that's where the.
But I don't want them issued the card that they can use anytime they want.
Well, see, that's why you get the section 3 and 4 for permitted uses and prohibited uses. Because again, my company, big company, issues credit cards all the time, but I have to follow the rules of that credit card all the time.
I don't agree with the issued part.
But-
I don't know what you guys
yeah,
feel.
I don't agree with the issue part either. I'm not, I mean,
You,
I'm all
I
right
could,
with you having a credit card. I've got no, I'm not gonna dispute that at all, but
no,
Right.
I just don't wanna get into, I don't wanna get into somebody else getting a card and then we gotta figure that.
And that's
out.
why there's, where was that, the limitation on there, what the spending limits is. So
So
right
why
now.
would-
we're only gonna have one card.
Card, I don't understand.
We're only gonna have one
Yeah,
card.
And that's all we need, but this is gonna set in place for any future.
No,
This is set in place for any future people. So
no.
whether it happens, the townships may be dissolved in 5 years.
Well, that's
or
fine,
less.
but I don't
Then-
want nothing that we can't, that somebody can have another card. One card.
No, one card's enough for this.
Yeah.
office.
And like I said, right there, it says, with the approval of township trustee and recorded in the advisory board minutes. So if I wanted to issue somebody, I have to come to you guys to get it issued.
I don't
be in the
think
minutes,
we
so you wouldn't have to come for approval.
Yeah,
They could, yeah,
need-
but
Yeah, this is giving you the right to issue it to whoever you want.
we could change it to with the approval
Pending board
of
approval.
the board.
Credit cards may be used. And you can take the S also off of cards, and credit card may be used only with the approval of the township trustee and recorded in the.
yeah,
If you just made it pending board approval, that would make everybody
Right.
happy.
yeah.
That's why I say-
It'll be a possibility and the board. would
Correct,
have to know
because
about it.
I just don't know, you never know. Because if the card's supposed to be secure, well, the only way it's gonna be secured is with me. And I work in Decatur,
I know.
yeah, so I can't. Susan, when Susan works, I can't be over here.
But what would she need it for that she couldn't write a check for?
Just different office, different supplies, because some places don't take checks anymore.
Well, I can see Susan wanting to go get something at Office Max or whatever, but I don't,
But
you can authorize her to use your card.
Right, but again, I have to be here with, I have the card, and I have to be be able to give it to her if I want her to use it. So it may take a week or two for, and that may be fine, But we're just leaving that as a
She can make a
possibility.
list.
Yeah,
and she can make a list, I can purchase the stuff too.
yeah.
But,
I don't mind her using it, but
I'm
one
just-
card,
I'm just
you're
trying to-
responsible.
and that's, I'm just trying to write a policy that's a blanket
Well,
policy that covers everybody.
Yeah.
And we're just
And
telling you
we're
how
just
we
trying-
feel.
Yeah,
And
and
that's
it's
fine.
just to cover you, because I do not want to go in the mess.
And that's fine,
I
we can
did there
change it
with the
to,
other.
with, the pending approval of the board, instead of just recorded in the advisory board minutes with approval of the advisory board.
The issued part is the problem I got. Because that,
Issued without board approval.
Right.
That's added.
And that gives you guys control of issuing credit cards.
So if you don't ever want a second.
but the only thing, I don't know why you wouldn't want used on there, because you're gonna be responsible. You got approval of the
Well-
township trustee. Why wouldn't you want just one card? Because you're gonna be
My goal,
responsible.
my goal is to keep one card, but again, this is a blanket policy for the future. You don't know what's gonna happen. I'm just trying to cover everything. That way we don't have to come back forth every year to redo this. This is hopefully set in
You
stone. and
shouldn't
it'll be
have
good
to
for-
redo it.
It could be a paper for, on a one-year basis, cards his, and approve it just like you do everything else.
Well, if another trustee comes in, that's the trouble. I'm not gonna be trustee forever. Another trustee comes in, well, he's gotta follow this resolution that was signed. That's the whole goal.
Or
is-
until he changes it.
Until they change it, but this will set it, and whoever's follows me,
They may not agree with it at all.
and they'll have to change it before they can issue it, they have to do anything,
You
so.
mean you're not gonna be forever? I was 20 years.
I plan on doing something else in my life eventually.
See, each card shall have a maximum transition and monthly spending limit as set by the trustee and approved by the board. So it talks about more cards than one.
Right. Again, it's just a blanket coverage, this would be kind of what other places
What do
use.
you have against the word use?
It's just way legality, you have to write it up stuff, I hate that stuff. Like I said, the way they pulled all this data. Cause the uses, section 3 and 4 cover uses, how it's used, who, like I said, technically, it's like, I don't want anybody else using that card, if it's not, because it's got my
I know,
name on
that's
it.
why
Right.
you're saying it, so. what
But if
has
somebody
to be
else
in there?
gets, for some reason, somebody has to issue it, they still have to follow the same uses as what I do.
Okay, so scenario, if you give somebody a credit card to use it, and they don't say anything about what they use, it's gonna be a whole month until you find out what they did with it.
And then that's where the other parts come into this, the receipt documentation, oversight, reconciliation, card security, termination of use, and the compliance.
They're not paying it back.
Compliance, misuse of township credit cards inconsistent with its policy, may result in personal liability and referral to NCSA by requirements.
See, we don't.
Yeah, you
have
guys
it.
don't have
We
it.
don't have that, so we don't. have
Right,
that.
it's in there.
As long as.
Like I
we have-
said, there's a lot, that's why it's 3 pages long. It's not,
Yeah, well, that's why we're asking the question.
right, it is in there. They could be held reliable. And again, it's in there, if they get terminated, office change, individuals must return credit cards.
I don't know why.
Again, this is more a
Well,
blanket. thing
Credit
for-
cards may be used only with the approval of the township trustee. And kill the end of that too, because we don't want to have to answer everything you use that credit card for.
Which one is that under?
Section 2.
So which one did you want killed?
Section, it ought to read, credit cards may be used only with the approval of the township trustee. You're gonna authorize them. This is under authorization.
Right, I see that. That's why I think
And
it needs to be issued, because it follows the other policies within that. That's why it needs to be issued. And it comes down to personal liability, because if I hand somebody else my card, now I'm held personal liable for that, for their purchases if they're misusing that card. That's why it needs to be issued and not used. Just like you hand your card to somebody else and they go spend it on frivolous things, it's got your name on it. You're the one liable for it.
Well, the way that reads it, we leave it the way you have it.
And that's why I'm gonna change it to with approval of the board for the issued. Cards can only be issued with the approval of the township trustee and the approval of the board. So we're gonna change that line. So you guys will have approval of that. That way it kind of protects my personal liability, and if somebody else needs it for some reason, right now we don't. We got two people in office. So if Susan needs something, she can ask me and I can get it that night and he'll be here for the next time. But again, this is a blanket coverage for any future people. It just protects the township for all future incidents. And that's why I'm writing these, how I'm gonna present everything is for future use. It's just not for me, it's for whoever follows me up. Or whoever.
They'd have to have a new credit card policy because it's in your name, so they'd have to get a new card and they have to get a new policy.
That's in the termination of use, section 9. Upon resignation, termination, or office change, individuals must return credit cards immediately. So, yes, they have to get a new credit card in their name also. That's why it's issued. So if I know because I should know who's replacing me, so I can be like, hey, we're gonna have to get you a new card in your name with Jefferson Township as a business. And that's how we have to issue it. That's why it's written up the way it is. But we can change that line to credit cards may be issued only with approval of the township trustee and approval of the board.
You're gonna take recorded in the advisory board minutes out.
Yep, because it's gonna be, we have to get approval of the board, it's gonna be recorded with approval. So it's gonna be in the minutes that way. Like I said, this policy resolution is setting the precedence for the future of credit card usage in the township. For me and whoever follows me. This is stuff that's never been done in, like the credit card policy's never been in place ever. And there's some other stuff like Larry, we try to get those other policies in places, there was no policy in place. And so that's why we gotta look at all this stuff, case by case.
When did you start getting credit cards? Using credit cards?
Probably when Larry took over.
Larry took over. He wanted, yeah.
When Barry Gordon had it.
Oh, Barry had
No,
one?
I don't think Barry had a credit card.
He used his own.
He might have, but he didn't have a township card that we approved.
And see, that's,
No, he used his own personal.
see, again, that's where this is gonna come into play.
And they took a check like this and said Barry Gordon.
So that's the way
Yeah.
Larry was doing it too, is the same way.
State
Barry
Board of
was.
Accounts kind of frown on that one.
Right. All right, so do we need,
Yeah.
we gonna approve it with those changes then, or what you guys thought? I need a motion if we're gonna approve it with that change.
What do you think, JJ?
Most of this actually matches what I had to sign at work, so it's, a lot of it's pretty close.
Can I make a motion?
That we approve it
We approve
with
it.
the changes he said.
With the approval of, marked out that, and then with approval of and approval of the board.
Okay. I'll second it.
Can't you put a stipulation on how much has to be
It's already got one, or we had one. You
I
got
don't
it?
think, I don't think we set one, but this makes.
We had one for Larry.
Yeah, so now, after we approve this, now we have to do another thing of, hey, your maximum is this, so we'll have to come up with that.
Yeah.
And we'll do that on the 22nd then, setting that maximum. So without this, there's no maximum.
Yeah, we got.
So we gotta have this in place to even set a maximum. So then that allows me on the next meeting to say, hey, this is what the,
It can't be on here, huh?
no. So again, it changes. That one's gotta be a little bit more flexible than what this is. But you guys have to set the maximum, this is what this says.
Okay, call for the vote, or
Alright. Everybody in favor?
aye.
Aye.
Sign my copy. And that resolution was 1025-. So now, next meeting, I come in with maximums of maximum monthly allow.
Did I sign the wrong line? I might have up.
No, you're good.
Okay, just have.
Well,
JJ
no,
sign
you-
below it.
Yeah, just, I think
No,
you did,
it's
because you're supposed to sign above.
we'll get you a line next month.
I'll bring you
It'll be
guys,
official then.
I'll bring you guys the maximums for next meeting for the credit cards. Yeah. Which basically is just gonna be the 3 bills we get monthly.
Okay, and final comments. Anybody got anything?
Yeah, I got a few. I went over, you sent out the distributions and receipts.
Okay.
And according to this, you have distributions of 284,000 and receipts of 195.
So, I don't know why, I think it's the bookkeeping software does that. So anything we sent to Trust Indiana is a distribution. So I don't know,
Right, but
that counts.
how much did you send to Trust Indiana this year?
For this year, let me log into that and I can tell you.
I got a figure, but I'll see if it jives with yours.
I don't think I have it saved on this computer.
I had 55,000 out of the general. Or,
Right.
or, yeah, 10,000 out of the fire
That's correct.
debt.
Yeah.
And 10,000 out of township
That
assistance.
one's correct, yeah.
That's 75,000, right?
Yeah.
And that's all I could find.
Because he did 100,000 last year for general. And then he added the rainy day, township fire equipment debt and township assistance in this year.
He did add all that this year.
I believe so. Oh, fire cum, sorry, no.
That was
Fire
all in
cum-
there.
Fire cum was last year.
Rainy day was last year.
Rainy day was last year. So general, township fire, so the last, general fire debt and township assistance. I think some of general went in last year.
So it was 3.
Three, should have been 4 that went in this year.
What's the fourth one?
So some more general went in this year. Township assistance, fire equipment debt, and township.
Well, I had 10,000 here in fire debt. 5,000 in Cume Fire. I missed that one, I bet. $5,000 and 10,000 in fire, and then
So it looks like sometimes the
30,000.
software is not great, so figuring out where it all went. So I think 30,000 out of the general went this year. Because it's maybe usually an even amount. And like I said, one reason I don't like that software is because of,
30,000 there, and
yeah, so 30 out of general. That was 10,000 for township assistance.
Was 10,000?
Township assistance was 10.
Was the 55? Was that fire?
That part of it, I'm not trying to figure out my amount here. Yeah, 10,000 in, township assistance. And then fire,
55.
yeah, fire is 55.
So how much did we put in Trust Indiana this year? 5, 10,000.
$105,000 went into Trust Indiana this year.
Yeah. So your receipt does come out better than what
Correct.
the only thing is on fire, it doesn't.
Correct.
You're upside down on fire.
Because we didn't budget for the fire budget.
That's right, but you can't spend money
Well, I'll have to,
until it's appropriated.
the end of the year, we'll have to appropriate before.
Yeah,
we
but
check.
you're supposed to appropriate it before you spend it. It
Right.
wasn't what you did, it
Right.
was what Larry
Right.
did.
Well, right, so right now we still have enough in the fire to pay what we did. We'll have to do some transfers to correct the negatives right now.
Well,
at
you're
the end
gonna
of the
have to
year.
get some money out of your Trust Indiana to do it,
Right.
because you're upside down right now on fire.
Right, but Trust Indiana, I can take it out anytime, I can take it out right now, and put it back.
Yeah, but
So. But we're also expecting some more, we still got December's payment coming in yet from the.
that's right, but technically you used money that was left from last year and didn't appropriate it. You didn't, Larry did.
Well, even then, it's just money sitting in the bank, all he did was trade from
No,
one bank account. to
he
the
would have
next.
been okay if he wouldn't have put all that in Trust Indiana.
Right, all he did was take it from one bank account, put it, because Trust Indiana is just a different bank account. I hate how it makes it disbursements, but it should be a transfer of bank accounts.
Okay, then I've got one more question.
Okay.
On the fire,
Mhm.
you've got listed here 30 entries for one check number.
Correct.
What's the deal on that?
That's the 30 line items for the fire budget.
It might be the budget, but this is accounting.
Right.
A budget and the accounting is different.
So that's where this fancy one comes in, so. in your
So-
budget, that's why you got 30 entries, is because of so now I know we got 41% remaining, 50, 50, 49, 49, 50, 48. So that's how much I know I have left in the budget.
The only thing is, here's the fire receipts. And they spent 50,900, but you have expenses here.
So the way that fire agreement is registered, we pay half in June and half at
And
December.
it's supposed to be one lump sum payment, and that's the way it ought to be entered into your books.
That is one month,
because-
that one check was written.
No, it's not one lump sum. You got it split up here, but it can't be for these things that you say it was spent for, because they didn't spend that much money.
But they receive it as that, they receive it into their accounts as that money.
No, they receive one lump sum you spent. You don't tell them so much goes into this.
This is for my accounting purposes, so I can see, track where that money's going.
Well,
I could match up.
how do you track it when you don't have a bill for it?
And
You
that's,
don't have a bill for it because you've only got
again, our,
$50,923 worth of bills, and you've got this all split up in categories.
that's why for me to track it, so I can say, hey, this is where we're at. Because otherwise, it wasn't even in this report. I couldn't even see where he wrote that check. So I had to make it so I could see that check.
It was in there.
It was in the main one. It wasn't shown in where I could see it. It was They had it in the wrong account.
It was,
So I had to correct that.
it's up to the town to keep track of how much money is in each one of them categories. It's not up to us.
And it's up to how I want to keep track of it too. So I'm keeping track of it that way. So I want to see, hey, this is what
But
we wrote
when
it.
you get to the end of the year, we're supposed to get half that money back. So
So
when you've entered it as you paid all this stuff, but there isn't the bills to pay all that stuff.
because we pay lump sums. I don't pay individual bills. We pay twice a
But
year.
this is accounting, that's,
We pay twice a year as the bills.
Okay, but what he's saying is,
I get what
if
he's
the
saying.
state board of accounts is gonna look at this and say, you did the accounting on it.
Because
And we're
that's how,
not doing the accounting
because
on it.
that's how the budget's written.
no, it didn't.
No,
It
it's
had a
not.
contract
It
services
says- It
line.
says we pay them one lump sum. so
It
it's
had
up
a
to them.
contract
Then
services
I'll
line.
get that corrected.
Okay,
That's
I-
for me to track it. And that's-
Well,
that's for
but
me.
don't track it in your accounting.
Yeah. Don't
track
track it separately, but don't count it
We-
separately, because
we-
then it's gonna be, when it comes to, the state board of accounts gonna look at that, you accounted it. You
That's
accounted,
fine. They can come back at me and say, hey, you did that wrong, and I'll get it corrected. I'm trying to learn this. I get what you guys are saying, but I've got to figure out how to make sure I see the numbers or where I need to see the numbers.
Well, the only thing you need to see is we pay them twice a year.
Right.
And that's what we want to see
yeah,
on
that's all
here.
we wanna
Okay.
see, yeah,
And we see that
So
we
that-
paid them.
so that the,
So you really overpaid them, but I see where you're coming from, because he has to do it line by line. We talked
No,
about that.
right,
in the
but-
budget thing.
but-
That's what you're talking about,
Right,
line by
right.
line.
I'm trying to go line by line, trying to figure out, yes, we're overpaying because we
Yeah.
don't have the bills to back that up, but our agreement is for half that budget. Now, whether they spend that full budget, then we get that lump sum back at the end
Our
of the year.
agreement is for a set figure.
Exactly.
They
Right.
set that budget last year and our agreement is for that set figure. And
Right.
that's the only figure we need to
Well,
see.
where do you want him to put that into because they haven't spent it all already.
No,
I see that's-
but it ought to be in our accounting as contract services. We paid $61,046
So you
and,
really are overpaid right now,
Right.
and he can't put it in the books.
yeah, you can,
How?
under contract
Oh,
services.
is there one? Oh,
Yeah,
I think there is
yeah.
one for contract service, but I'd rather see it this way, that way I
Yeah,
can.
because that's what we argued about. We wanted line for line.
Right.
No,
Wait, I'm trying
we
to-
wanted them to
Tim,
send
So
us the
let's-
bill.
I think you're helping me out here. What I'm trying to do is at the end of the year, when I know, hey, we only spent this much, I can go back through and say, okay, I need to change these lines
Yeah,
to say on this line here, so that way we could track it better, saying, hey, why'd you guys we budgeted 16 or whatever, and you guys only spent 8. That's why I'm keeping it track like this. So I could say, hey, when I come back at the end of the year, I don't want the lump sum, because then I can't track it. Hey, they actually spent it here, not here.
right.
I want to be able to
You
track that.
got
through the
these
year.
bills they send you every
But
month
that's
that you can
Right.
track it on.
yeah, the.
Right, but I want to be able
They need
to,
you a spreadsheet to
Right.
track this
but
on.
I'm keeping it, this is my spreadsheet too.
But that's not our spreadsheet. This is accounting. This is numbers. This is,
Yeah, that should be just your.
yeah.
yours,
Yeah.
Not
Okay.
theirs, because they're not gonna understand it.
Right.
No, no,
I'll get
no.
that corrected. That's
Yeah,
fine.
we need this the way we paid it, the one
I'll get that
figure.
corrected then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd appreciate that. And I know you said the last meeting that Larry is under investigation, and I'm surprised that you could go back and change something that he did.
Because there's some other stuff I had to change because they just put it in the accounting wrong. So I can go back and redo stuff. But it keeps an audit track of who's changed what. So I can go back and say, I changed it, Susan changed it. Susan put it in that way, Larry put it in that way. I can track that. It tracks every single change that's done.
Well, I'd appreciate it if you go back and
That's what I
enter
do that.
it the way we pay the bills. And then if you want to keep a separate spreadsheet, you got these
Yeah.
bills from them
That's
to
fine.
do it.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to keep.
Because
it
this
like-
is an accounting program. It's not.
So-
Right. Like I said, I'm
Okay.
trying to keep how my mind works and how I need to keep track of how stuff gets spent is what I'm trying to do it.
And you might be wrong because you're just guessing this.
Right. I don't know, like I said, it's a big old mystery for me of whether stuff's getting done right or not.
Right.
So you have no access to any of Larry's other receipts and past receipts and everything, correct? It's all tied up in the.
Correct.
Audit.
Yep. It is all tied up.
Don't take it personally, these guys like you.
Well, it's our job to watch this stuff. Larry talked about us being part of his team. We're not his team. We're elected by the voter to represent them. And that's what we're doing. We're not.
Yeah, the board is most important than the trustee. So that's very true.
Anything else?
Any other comments? Anybody got anything
No,
else?
appreciate it, AJ. You did an excellent job on the budget.
Excellent.
How are you gonna come up with an investigator?
I'm gonna have to make the trustees to see how they're doing it right now. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. Right now, I'm not gonna do anything for, because like I said, it's only been 2 weeks and it's gonna take a while to figure out.
Do
what I
you-
want.
Do you by law have to have a certain amount of hours per?
I don't, like I said, I don't know what information I need for that position. I don't know. That's why I haven't looked for
Well,
anybody, hired anybody.
I know you said in one email you wanted to do it by appointments, but I think by law, maybe you have to have so many hours per week, but
No, I
I'm no
No,
lawyer.
I think we're fine by appointments. We just have to advertise what our hours are, and I have that by appointment only. So by law, we are good because it's by appointment only. It's advertised out there in front of the windshield, front window, and I took the hours off the front window, so there's no hour set anymore.
Okay, one other thing, December 11th, budget resolution to move money, that's not gonna work for me. We gotta go a little later than that. I come back on the 12th.
Or did I send out a date for that?
Well, this was the dates that
Oh,
Larry had, and we haven't went by hardly
Yeah.
any of them, but I'm just telling you up front
Yeah,
that I won't be here December 11th.
Yeah, I'm gonna refigure that out myself.
Okay.
I don't think that date's gonna work either. So our next meeting is when I was gonna come up with dates for next year and dates for December. So I like to have dates down for all that. So our next meeting, I will go over that for a date in December. I wasn't even looking at December yet. I wanna get through this month first.
Yeah.
I'm taking it month by month right now.
Yeah.
Like I said, there's so much I've gotta try to figure out.
Can't you get a load of sand, throw it on there? Stick around, man.
No, easy.
You done it, Rich.
I'm not testing tough, but you're doing a
Yeah, we
hell of
did.
a job. I'll give you that. That's a hell of a job.
Well, the thing is, I did my own investigating. It was not a separate investigation.
Yeah, and I don't know how that reads, whether you have to have an
I don't know
investigator.
if we have to have one or not, but with my time, I
Yeah,
don't have the ability to do it. That's why.
yeah.
If you just say no to everything, you'll have the time. Just throwing that out there.
I know.
One time, do you remember when you followed that guy right into the tavern?
Right down here. Yeah.
He'd just come to us to get money and he followed him into and took it all away from him because he was buying booze.
I told him, I said, if I-
Now you
We
might
have a
get
motion
shot.
to adjourn.
We got a motion to adjourn?
You're done.
Motion and a second.
Second,
All in favor?
put the time down so I know for the minute.
7:33.
Okay.
7:33.
Oh,